I gave birth to my son, my was huge. And the reason why my huge, because I almost gained 20, and you already know my have some shots, so my was already huge as my like putting that baby weight on my body plus the shot.
Y'all, it's looking like BBL stinky. BBL stinky, because Stefon Diggs just confirmed the rumors about how Cardi B's BBL allegedly is stank. And it looks like he is done covering for her, because rumors about Cardi B's BBL being botched blew up after her Coachella performance went viral for all the wrong reasons. The next thing we knew, we found out that Stefon had gone back to his ex and they had resumed their relationship. Now, this isn't the first time that people have been talking about Cardi's BBL, so we ain't body shaming, but we might be stink shaming, because there's been some talk over the years about how there's something just not right about it. And if Stefon is dumping her because of it, well, it looks like it's only getting worse. And in true Cardi fashion, she has been clapping back at fans, lashing out over Stefon dumping her, because the situation is absolutely embarrassing. It's already super messy, but it's like it's getting stinky. Let's get into it. Okay, y'all, so Cardi B's body has been the topic of speculation on social media for a long time, and in her defense, it's probably because she's quite open about the work she's gotten done on her body, if it wasn't just obvious. But some people often praise her body because honestly, bod or not, it's still tea. But the thing about the surgery is that it can be quite addictive, and it's hard to know when you should stop, because she's always getting something done to her body, and fans are now talking about how her body is getting botched. It got messy over Coachella weekend when this picture of her went viral, and not for the right reasons. She tried to claim that it was photoshopped or edited, but everybody knows that Getty does not edit their pictures in any way. So what you see is what you got. Well, Cardi immediately clapped back and posted this picture of herself, and honestly, it looked good, but fans accused her of photoshopping the picture, and everybody started looking and talking about how she's really botched in real life and was trying to hide it with Photoshop pictures. She clapped back at fans who had something to say about her BBL, and in true Cardi fashion, she called them ugly and broke.
It's always you stupid ass bitches. It's never the bad. It's never the bad. You know what it is? It's never the bad, and it's never the trans. The trans with it. The trans always with it. The bad with it. The niggas with the money with it. It's always you bad bill, angry, jealous, and it's always you funky, ugly country queens that don't got no style. Cause the queens that get it, but the poor ones always talking.
And if that wasn't messy enough, the streets are saying that her BBL also stinks so bad that her man Stefon Diggs dumped her. According to sources, her relationship with Stefon has come to a sad end, and it's allegedly because he could no longer deal with the stench. Not only did he dump her, but he also ran back to his ex, who was only too happy to take him back. She posted a couple of pictures of her and Stefon cozied up, and it looked like they had picked up right where they left off. She also posted texts that he sent her from the conversation, and it looks like they have been in some constant communication, and it doesn't sound like the type of conversation that you have after weeks of radio silence. And this has fans wondering if he had her on standby the entire time that he was with Cardi. She also said, "I hate when a ninja act like he wasn't just crashing out being a stalker, but I'll let them have social media and play my part so he can get his clout." She then said, "I don't post him, I be with him in real life and we be doing it raw." Well, the streets are now saying that Cardi B's Stank BBL is the reason she got dumped. And y'all, it's absolutely messy. I'm not saying it's true because I ain't got no whiffs, but if it is, that's crazy. But it might not be that surprising, because if there's one thing that we know about Cardi, is that she loves her some plastic surgery, and that sit down ear might be suffering. But y'all, plastic surgery has pretty much become a regular thing in Hollywood, so many celebrities have had some type of work done, but you'd never know it from the way they talk. Most of them swear up and down that it's just a new contour mature technique, a stricter diet, and suddenly they're going vegan, as if those things magically reshape your entire face and body. And I'm not about to start dropping names, but let's be real for a millisecond. There are some transformations that just don't come from green juice and yoga alone. But now Cardi is like a whole different story. Unlike a lot of celebs who act like they woke up one day with a new nose and curves, Cardi has been refreshingly honest about the procedures that she's had done. And she's not shy about it either. She's talked openly about getting her body done, enhanced, and even warned people to seriously think it through before jumping into it. She's also kept it 100, and that's something a lot of folks respect about her. Because one thing Cardi gonna do is try to keep it all the way real. But lately there's been some talk online about whether Cardi might be taking it a step too far. Some fans have been starting to point out that her look is changing again, and not in the best way. There's concerns that maybe all this tweaking and touch-ups are starting to catch up. These days Cardi doesn't really open up about it as much, but if you've been following her from early on, then you know that a big reason she started getting this plastic surgery had to do with how she was raised and the environment she grew up in. Where she came from, thick girls were celebrated, like the standard of beauty was all about having a full chest and those Coke bottle curves, and that was the look everybody admired, and Cardi just didn't fit into that mold. She said before that growing up she was super skinny, and in her world that wasn't exactly seen as attractive. In fact, she was one of the only girls around her who didn't have that thick body type, and instead of just brushing it off, it really stuck with her. She got teased, she got bullied, and over time that started to wear her down and wear down her confidence. It made her feel like she wasn't beautiful, like something was wrong with her.
You come from nationalities that like they praise thick girls, that they praise thighs, they praise all of that, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's hard to just be like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna walk around my flat. No, some of y'all happy with it and that's great, but that just wasn't me when I was young. So
well, then things started changing when she got into but contrary to what you might expect, stepping into the club didn't instantly boost her confidence or make her feel empowered, or at least not at first. When she started dancing, she didn't have the body type that most club regulars were into. She was still skinny, and in that world, curls were absolutely currency. So once again, she found herself being overlooked and not fitting into this ideal. And since her self-esteem was already bruised from years of teasing and feeling like she wasn't enough, this just added fuel to the fire. Well, eventually, Cardi saved up that coin to get her first procedure, a breast augmentation. She was only 18 when she got it done, and for a while, it really did lift her spirits, literally. She finally started to feel a little more confident, a little more like the version of herself that she wanted to see in the mirror. But if you know anything about plastic surgery, you'll know it's rarely a one and done deal. It can be very incredibly addictive, not just emotionally, but physically too, because many procedures require touch-ups, maintenance, and revisions over time. And for someone like Cardi, she already carried deep insecurities about her body. That first surgery was just the beginning. And once she got a taste of what it felt like to fix something she didn't like, it became easier to keep going. Even though things improved a little bit for Cardi after she first got her surgery, she was still making way less money than the curvier strippers because she still had that flat.
when I was a dancer and everything, like, I had the teeth, I had the tattoos, I had a six-pack, I could do a whole split, everything, but not split, but I could do crazy pole tricks, all that, but I was missing some.
To make matters even worse and more complicated, Cardi was dealing with heartbreak around that same time, and her boyfriend was cheating on her. In her mind, the reason was painfully clear, that the other girl had a big. She started believing that if she just had some more curves, maybe he wouldn't have to look elsewhere. But here's the thing, Cardi was only 20 and living in New York. She didn't have the kind of money to go to a reputable, licensed plastic surgeon. And to make matters even trickier, she was still super thin, so she didn't have enough body fat for a BBL, which uses your own fat. So instead of going the safe route, she ended up going to a woman named Donna Francis and paid her $800 for illegal silicone injections in her. thighs. So if that name rings a bell, it should, because Donna Francis became infamous for one of her clients that tragically died during one of those unlicensed procedures. The whole thing exploded in a major legal case, and eventually Donna was arrested and sent to prison for running an illegal silicone injection business. Thankfully, Cardi was lucky enough to survive the procedure without any major side effects, but that doesn't mean she got off easy, because she spoke to GQ magazine about that crazy after effects she had. She said, "They don't numb your butt or anything. It was the craziest pain ever. I felt like I was gonna pass out. I felt a little dizzy, and it leaks for like 5 days." After getting those initial procedures done, Cardi kind of slowed down on the surgery for a while. At that point, she had finally achieved the body that she thought she always dreamed of. Well, she didn't really feel the need to keep going under the knife, at least not right away. But of course, that piece didn't last forever. And fast forward to 2019, after she gave birth to their daughter Culture, and things shifted again. And like a lot of new moms, Cardi was dealing with the changes of her body, postpartum, and she decided to get another job to fix some of the changes that came with feeding. And on top of all that, she went in for a to shed some of the baby weight that she had still hanging around. But this is where it got rough, because Cardi didn't give herself enough time to properly heal. Her schedule was packed with performances and appearances, and instead of resting and recovering like she was supposed to, she jumped right back into work. Eventually, the stress caught up with her and her body started reacting, and at one point her feet were so swollen from the that she posted a picture online, and let's just say it wasn't a good look. It was clear that her body was screaming for a break. The swelling scared her enough that she finally listened to her doctors, who insisted that she stop performing and rest, and that experience really shook her up, and for a moment it seemed like it changed her outlook. Cardi even posted, "I've been working out for the past 2 weeks because I ain't getting surgery again." Now, for a while, Cardi really did try to step back from surgery after all the issues that she had with recovery, especially the scary swelling after her, and she decided to play it safe. So when she started feeling like she wanted to change her nose, she went for a non-surgical option, like just fillers, but the fillers ended up making her nose look kind of weird, and she wasn't feeling that. So eventually she decided to go ahead and get a full to get it done right. But of course, that wasn't the end. After she had her son Wave in 2021, Cardi revealed that she was thinking about getting a tummy tuck. She said she had loose skin around her stomach from the pregnancy, and no matter how much she worked it out, it wasn't going away. But it wasn't just a tummy tuck that soon got people talking. It was the fact that we noticed that her had gotten different. It was bigger. I mean, just look at the video that she posted. People started side-eyeing Cardi again when her body started to look a little off, and her waist was looking extra snatched, but her was still real big, which made proportions seem kind of off. Naturally, folks on the internet started accusing her of getting more shots or secretly going back in for more work, and the comments were flying everywhere, with people saying that she looked unnatural or even unhealthy. But Cardi, being Cardi, wasn't about to let these rumors run wild without saying something herself. She hopped on Instagram Live and shut down the claims, saying she didn't get more shots. But at the same time, though, she kept it real. She admitted that she knew her a little weird, and she didn't pretend everything was perfect or act like she couldn't see what people were talking about.
After I gave birth to my son, my huge. And the reason why my huge, because I almost gained 20, and you already know my already have some shots. August, I did surgery because a lot of people thought that as soon as I gave birth, I got my body done. No, didn't. In August, I did surgery and I removed 95% of my perimeters. But of course, right, they took it out of me, but they still had to shape my, because they took a lot of shots out. So my a little fluffy now.
But it's obvious that she regrets her surgery, because she warned young women not to make the same mistakes she made when she was young.
All I'm gonna say is, right, that if you young, if you 19, if you 20, if you 21, and sometimes you too skinny, and you be like, oh my God, I don't got enough fat to put on my and everything, so you resort to shots, don't do it. Like, I am super against shots.
So it seems like she was known for a while about how her BBL is no longer giving what it's supposed to have gave, and she has been trying to fix it. But unfortunately, it's not that easy to change. But somewhere along the line, it allegedly started to stink so bad that Stefan dumped her and went right back to his ex. In her defense, though, Stefan is pretty much just Offset version 2.0, because he also is known to cheat. He's a big player, and he even got dumped by Young Miami because he couldn't stop playing the field. They had a thing going for a few weeks after Miami suddenly tweeted, "I can't fall in love with no," and "young, rich, outside, and single." So it looks like Stefon might have eventually dumped Cardi sooner or later anyways, and the whole BBL stank thing might have just been an excuse for him to leave. But I gotta know what y'all feel about this. You think Cardi sat down there and stank? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and then check out this next video.